The last overarching theme in meditation practice that we're going to talk about during this 6-part video series is loving kindness. And loving kindness and technically even compassion, which we did in the last video, are not technically mindfulness, but they do incorporate mindfulness. Mindfulness is a very important component of them. And they also are meant to complement mindfulness. They come from the same tradition, and they're meant to be done together and alternating between the two. So they're very, very important practices. And we talk about loving kindness, and again, it can seem like some big pie in the sky. Oh, I don't know what that is. Loving kindness, that's not me. But it's actually quite simple, and it's very relevant, and it's right here, and it's right now. So what loving kindness is just wishing the very best for others, having the most positive intentions for others. So one way of saying this is unconditional positive regard, which is another thing that people say. And again, you still might be feeling like unconditional positive regard. I don't know about that. But if you just take a second here and think about a person for whom it's really, really easy for you to wish just the very best. Like, oh, I just want the world for that person. And as soon as they come to mind, we can feel, even in our bodies, most often, a kind of warmth in our heart. Maybe we feel some expansion. And for most of us, we have a person or a creature, might be an animal, that we feel like that about, that we just want the very best for, that just makes us feel all warm and fuzzy on the inside. That's what loving kindness is. It's nothing more complicated than that. And this practice is so important right now. So there's been some incredible research on loving kindness done far beyond this time with the current situation in the world with COVID-19. Back in 2008, out of Stanford, there was a study that showed that just 7 minutes of loving kindness practice can help people feel more socially connected. And that's obviously so critical to what we need right now. That's a need that we're all feeling. So, it's also just like compassion. There's been a lot of great research that's showing that loving kindness has a long-term impact on what degree of positive emotions we feel throughout the day. So again, very, very important. And this isolation piece, going back to it, can be particularly important for us who have type 1 diabetes, because this can be a very isolating and lonely experience. It's easy to fall into the mindset of nobody understands me, nobody gets it, and I'm totally on my own in this thing. And that's a pretty common sentiment where many of us are feeling that way. So this practice can be important to get us back in touch with each other and with our own humanity. So beyond that, I talked about the research a little bit, but there's also a traditional list in the original texts where loving kindness meditation is taught, where they talk about the benefits of loving kindness. And I'm just tickled by these, so I had to include them. So here's a few of them. You will sleep easily. You will wake easily. You'll have pleasant dreams. You'll be loved by people. You'll be loved by animals. You'll be safe from harm. You'll have a radiant face. You'll have a serene mind. And there's more, but I'll stop there. So I think that's fun, and to some extent, you might even feel like you can resonate with some of these. Like, oh yeah, I might actually be getting that benefit. So that's a fun thing to keep track of as well. Now I want to do a little bit of practice here, because obviously that feeling of warm fuzziness and appreciation and wishing the best for somebody, we all know that feeling in some context or another, but there's also some great ways to cultivate it, and we'll do one here at the end. I want to lead into that by a quote. And this is a quote by another clinical psychologist, Pat Ogden, who tells about her mentor's instructions to her about her clients, which was to find something to love in the person, something to be inspired by, something heroic, something recognizable as the gift and burden of the human condition, the pain and grace that's there in everyone you meet. And that's exactly what loving kindness is about. So those same instructions apply to us right now as we go into this practice. So we'll do a little experiment here. A loving kindness experiment. Warm, fuzzy feeling, appreciation. Feel free to pause as usual. If you need to get set up, get comfortable. And as you're ready, feeling free to let your eyes drift closed or remain half open. Tapping into your breath first, as we usually do. Wherever it feels comfortable for you to pay attention to it. Letting a smile come to your face, if it's available, if it's easy. If not, just continuing with the breath. We always let our attention first settle, doing some mindfulness of the breath, before moving into some of the more kind of cognitively engaging practices. So feeling free to count your breaths, maybe up to 5, starting again at 1. Inhaling 1, exhaling 1. Two and 2. Continuing to keep your attention on your breath. One of the basic practices of loving kindness is just repeating a couple of phrases in keeping somebody else in mind, our greatest wishes to them. We won't do an exhaustive list of people. But I want you to start now by just calling to mind maybe that person that you already thought about, or that pet, or if not, some other person that you feel it's very, very easy to just wish the best for, that you already feel warm and fuzzy about. Noticing even in bringing that person to mind, you might be having some of those sensations, some feeling of positivity, some warmth in the heart or opening in the chest. And if that's okay too. As we go throughout this process, allow yourself to feel whatever it is you're feeling. You don't need to be feeling some strong opening. Sometimes we don't. We just continue to practice and wish the best. So with this person in mind, I'm going to say some phrases, and You can repeat after me in your own head, wishing them upon this beloved person. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be filled with ease and loving kindness. Again, may you be happy. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you be filled with ease, with loving kindness. Taking a moment to notice what that feels like and what you're feeling throughout your body as you are wishing that on another. If you'd like to make any other wishes towards that person, and then just letting their image fade. Now imagining that same beloved person wishing on you those same things. Imagine them telling you, may you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be filled with ease, with loving kindness. Noticing what it's like to receive those wishes from this beloved person. Again, imagining them wishing you, may you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be filled with loving kindness, with ease. Taking in those wishes, receiving that from this other person, this animal perhaps. And we'll do a round wishing that upon ourselves, knowing what it feels like to be appreciated and seen and loved by another. Bringing that same feeling, may I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be filled with ease, with loving kindness. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. be filled with loving kindness, with ease. Taking those wishes, those feelings, letting everything fade other than just the appreciation of the sensation of loving kindness from another to another, from yourself. And as that fades, coming back to the breath. Noticing how it is now. Taking a moment to appreciate. And in the next few breaths, on your own time, coming back. Whenever you're ready, when it feels appropriate, you can open your eyes, move around at all. So it's a very simple practice. The loving kindness is a simple practice. And that same model can be used with anyone, and it can be used with people that we're having difficulty with. It can be used with people that we don't have strong feelings for at all. And that's traditionally, it's used across the board for everyone. In a kind of series. Of course, in our limited time, I just wanted to give you a taste of that practice. And it's very easy to do on your own, because it's just 4 simple phrases, and you can even change those phrases to make them feel more personal and applicable. But I will say that there's something very useful and skillful, often for me, doing these loving kindness meditations guided, because you can hear somebody's voice, and actually we know that when we hear somebody's soft tone of voice, that we ourselves are able to soften and feel more safe and comfortable. So it can be very useful to actually do it in a guided context. But feel free to do it on your own. It's very easy to transfer.